Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my recommendations for the Christmas in July sale from Sydney Grace. I went through my collection of Sydney Grace and I just picked out the shades that I feel like perform the best and the ones that I really love, and I did fill up a whole C palette with them. There's majority mattes in here because I do have majority mattes in my collection, but there are a couple of shimmers too. So those are the shades we're going to go through today, and I basically can swatch them out for you, share with you which shades I have, and yeah, just talk you through in all of my recommendations. So I'm a bit worried about scratching all of these when I'm taking them out, so instead of me taking out and saying the shade name, I'm just gonna put it on the screen when I talk about it or when I swatch the shade, just for simplicity's sake, so that yeah, I don't like mess any of these up. But these are the ones that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to swatch them row by row and just talk you through each shade in order. So here we have the first three shades. I believe this one is called Snow Queen, I know this is Tiara, and I can't remember what this one is. It might be Speedway, but those are the first three shades. Again, I will have them on screen when I talk about them, but this is the first shadow right here. I love this because, I mean, it's not the most pigmented white. It is pretty pigmented, but it's easy to build up. I really love this shade because it is buildable. It's easy to mix with other shades, but you can also build it up so that you can have it as, for example, in a corner highlight or use a white shade in general. And I really do love this one. Next up, we have this shade right here, which again I know is Tiara, because it's a beautiful, stunning taupe shade. It's a beautiful, perfect taupe. The shine on this is beautiful, and it's nothing like super sparkly or like over the top special, but it is a really stunning metallic, and it is, like I said, a perfect taupe. Next up we have this matte over here. This one is a really beautiful kind of cool toned taupe shade. I think these three would honestly make a perfect look. I really love this shade, and I believe this is Speedway, but again I will have that on the screen. But those are the first three. The next three I have look like this. Again, we have two mattes and one shimmer. They're really stunning shades, and yeah, I feel like Sydney Grace do these kind of light transition shades really well, so I do have quite a few of them. This one here is the first of these three. It's a beautiful kind of mauve toned matte, and you can see it a bit more built up. Let's move on to the next shade. This is one of those shades that are like super metallic from Sydney Grace. I really love this one. It's obviously a bit more warm tone than the last one, but it's still a really nice neutral, and that is the next shade. Then lastly, for those three, we have this shade here. Again, a transition shade, a bit more peachy, still very light, still very beautiful, but that is the next shade. And yeah, you can see it there. It's a beautiful kind of mix between a pink and a peach, and it's a beautiful eyeshadow. I really love this one, and it's easy to incorporate in a lot of looks. So I still have a bit of space left for my arm. I'm still thinking I'm gonna continue on to like where the warm tone shades end, so like here. So I'm gonna do this one here and then those ones up to here, and then I think I'm gonna switch over. So I'm just gonna continue swatching. So here you have the next three shades. We have another transition shade, another shimmer, and then we're moving into like a deeper warm tone. Yeah, so those are the next three. This one here is a bit deeper, but it's still in a similar tone to the last one. I didn't swatch very well, but I'm going to pick up some more and just build it up. So there you have it, a bit more built up. I think these two would pair perfectly. And the ones, like I said, that I picked for this video is more like the really creamy, really like nice and pigmented shades that are very blendable. Because some of the eyeshadows that I have from Sydney Grace is a bit more dry, but these are the ones that I find are the best. But this one here is a bit on the edge. As you can see, it didn't swatch the absolute best in the first one, but it did build up relatively easily, so that was the next shade. Let's move on to the next shimmer shade, which is another one of those really stunning shimmer shades, like a really metallic ones. I love this one. Again, it would go really well with the last two. It's a bit more kind of orangey toned, like copper almost, but it's a really stunning shade. And I believe that one is called Truth and Beauty. It's like I said, it has almost a little bit of a shift to it. It goes from like, it has a warm toned base, and then it has like that copper shift, as well as like a slight bit of a pink shift. I really love that eyeshadow. And then next up we have that deeper brown that I mentioned. This one looks like this. Again, it's really creamy, really nice, really buildable. I believe this one is Mom Ride, but I'm gonna put it on screen because I can't remember for sure, but that is the next eyeshadow. So we have the final two eyeshadow for the warm tone ones, and they are right here. These two more mattes, and I'm going to just go ahead and swatch these two out. This one here is more of like an orangey tone, as you can see, and then this one is very similar, but just a bit deeper. That was a terrible swatch of me, but you can see it right there. I did build it up a tiny bit. Those are the swatches. Those are the first eyeshadows that I am going to talk about. More kind of the neutral tones, I guess, and more kind of cool tones to start, but then rosy tones, and then moving into more of the warm tones. But yeah, that is the first round of swatches. So moving on, we're gonna start with the purples right here and then move into like the blue and the greens. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start swatching again. So here you have the first 3 shades. That one is a beautiful kind of lilac-y shade. Really, really pretty, like perfect for spring. Love this eyeshadow. This is like the perfect formula because you can see how smoothly that's swatched, but that is the first eyeshadow. Next up we have a shimmer. This one is another one that is super metallic, super pretty. This one again has like a little bit of a shift to it. It has like that really, you can see the base right there. It's kind of like a deeper raspberry kind of almost base, and then it has like a golden shift to it, but it's a really, really stunning shimmer. So I will have some more of those grey tones coming up, but I have some blues first. These are the next 3 shades. Beautiful again. I think these would be perfect in a one look, but these are the next 3 eyeshadows. I think this first one here is called Perfect Storm. I think that's what it's called. You can see how pigmented that is. Normally pastels like this doesn't swatch very easily, but that's why I love Sydney Grays, because they have the best formula. They're so nice, these eyeshadows. But that is the next eyeshadow. We're gonna move on to like the medium blue. You can see it right there. Again, I feel like blues aren't always the easiest to formulate, but again you can see how beautifully this was swatching, and that is the next one. Then lastly we have the deepest one, which I do know for a fact is called #isaboy, and I really love this one. It's a really deep blue, but it still has a blue undertone and doesn't just look like black when you blend it out. I really love that eyeshadow. Next up we have more of these kind of cool toned. These are the more kind of grays. I mean, talking about the end, you can see this one has like a green undertone, this one has a blue undertone, and then obviously we have a brighter shade right there. But they are beautiful eyeshadows, and I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these ones out as well. So that is the first shadow right here. Again, that is like the one with a bit more green undertone. Then let's swatch the one with a slightly more kind of blue undertone. That was very close to the last swatch. And then lastly we have that kind of turquoise shade right there. Again, you can see how beautiful those swatches. The last one is a bit patchy towards the end, but those colors again are really, really hard to formulate, and you can see how smooth they are to start off with. So there you have the next row swatches. I'm going to stop here because then the remaining shades are all green, so I'm going to stop here so you can see. But you can see, like I said, we have the purpley pinks, which are more, I guess, towards the neutrals again, but I just couldn't fit them on the other hand. And then we have more kind of cool toned blues. You can see that gray here would go really, really well with like these two right here, and the blues are absolutely stunning. I think the quality of these again are amazing. So lastly we have like the green, this one here, and then the remaining greens on the bottom row to swatch. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that lastly. And here you have the first 3 shades, and all 3 of them would again make a beautiful look, I believe. I just feel like Sydney Grays have the best undertones on all of their eyeshadows, and yeah, they're absolutely stunning. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these 3 as well. Just look at that shimmer. I think that is, can't remember, Commissioner? Something like that. But yeah, absolutely stunning. And then lastly we have this more kind of neutral toned green, which didn't swatch very well, but it does swatch really beautifully normally. I just didn't pick up enough, but that is Ivy League. Let me build that one up a bit. So there they are, a bit more built up. I feel like swatches never go as well when I use makeup right to remove previous swatches. That's probably why they're not swatched as well as the first ones. But beautiful greens, I love these. I have more greens than these, but these are like my top 3 favorite of this kind of tone. I have more coming up, and the next 3 are right here, as you can see. Again, stunning shades. We actually have 2 shimmers in this round, but those are the next round of eyeshadows. This first one here I know is called Dive. It's a beautiful eyeshadow. It has a blue undertone, as you will be able to tell, but it does have like a golden shift to it, which means that it leans a bit more green. But it's a really, really unique eyeshadow. It's not the most metallic eyeshadow, but it's really stunning and very unique in my collection, which is why I love it so much. The next one we have this kind of deep green right here, which again, look at that swatch. It's so pigmented, so beautiful, and I love these colors right here. Makes me so happy. But like, that is such a beautiful shade. I love that eyeshadow. It's really stunning and a very good, again, deep tone that still stays the same color. So like I said, with its hashtag is a boy, that is a blue, a very deep blue. So when it blends out, it still keeps that blue undertone. It doesn't really lose that when you blend out, which is the same with this one. It still has that green undertone, which you might be able to tell, but yeah, a beautiful shade again. Then lastly, we have this beautiful shimmer, which is this one here. Again, so nice, so flaky. This one is one that I actually got for free when I've ordered last time. I think actually all the shimmers I got for free apart from Tiara and Dive. Those I think are the only ones I picked up in the rain. I got for free when I picked them up my order, because I picked it up last year for Christmas in July. But this is a beautiful shimmer. It's so dimensional. This is definitely one of the sparklier ones. It's very dimensional. It has like a green, a very kind of grass green, almost a bit of blue in it too, base, and then it has these beautiful kind of goldeny green glitters in it, but that's a nice shade. And we actually come to the last eyeshadow in the palette, which is this one right here. So let me go ahead and swatch that out, and then we completed this whole palette. And there you have that eyeshadow. Lastly, it has a little bit of a more bluish undertone. It's not blue, and by any means it's still green, but it's a bit more kind of turquoisey green, I would say, than some of these more yellowy toned greens. But that is the last shade, and again, you can see how beautiful that swatches. And that is the last set of eyeshadows. I love these, they're so stunning, and yeah, I really recommend all of these as well. I mean, I recommend the whole palette because these are my top picks from what I own, and yeah, these are amazing eyeshadows. So again, this is the palette of all of the eyeshadows that I recommend the most. How many eyeshadows do I have? I think I did have at least double this. I must have more than that. I'm trying to think of how many eyeshadows I have from City Grace. I have quite a few because last year I placed a couple of orders through the Christmas and July sale, and then I got a lot of free eyeshadows because I bought 2 orders. I actually have 2 palettes as well from City Grace, which obviously isn't included in here. I would really recommend the Tiny Marvels palette though, if it's going to be in stock for the sale, because it's an amazing palette. It's such a beautiful one. It has the same beautiful formula as these, like the really buttery, beautiful, like blendable formula. Because I said some of the eyeshadows are a bit drier, but all of these are very creamy, very blendable, and I love all of them. I still have a massive list. I think I have like 50 eyeshadows on my list that I want to potentially pick up during the sale. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to pick up all 50. I technically could with the beauty budget that I have at the moment. I have enough points for that. I just need to debate if it's worth it or not. But there is a lot of eyeshadows that I know are really well known and I think a lot of people love. One of them that just springs to mind is San Jose, I think that's what it's called, which is a more kind of really light transition shade. And I think when it comes to recommendations just overall, I think Sydney Grace does transition shades really well, like those lighter toned. They do them in so many shades, so many nuances, so many, like, yeah, just you can find any kind of transition shade you need from Sydney Grace. I mean, I have a couple here. You can see like all of these right here, like even this gray, this one here. All of them are beautiful transition shades that are light enough to help blend and create that like really easy blended look, but they also have enough pigment and color that they stay there and doesn't just blend away to nothing. I really love those. Those are probably some of my top picks from them. Some other ones that stand out are like these kind of deeper shades, and hashtag is a boy here. That's the only one of all my Sydney Grace shadows that have cracked a bit, which is about fortunate, but hopefully it's fine as long as it doesn't just crumble completely. I love that one so much, again with that one down here, which again I think is evergreen. Those really deep shades are actually really good as well because they do have that deep pigment. Some of the shimmers are amazing too. I don't love all of the shimmers. Actually, these shimmers are the pressed pigment eyeshadows, I believe, not the regular shimmers. The pressed pigment ones are better in my opinion. I don't even know if I've tried any of the regular shimmers. I think, is Dive one of the regular shimmers? Let me check quickly. No, it's not. So even Dive, that is a bit more kind of not as intense. It's one of their pressed pigments, and yeah, I think all of the ones that I have are pressed pigments, majority at least, but I really recommend some of them as well. There's a lot of shades in there. I think I don't own enough, but The Greatest Gift I know is one of them that is really popular, and they used to have a really good selection. So just find a color that you like. I would look up maybe some swatches of it online and see what you recommend, but these are the ones from my collection that I feel are top-notch quality, the best of the best, no duds in here at all. So if you like any of these shades, I really recommend them, and the formula is amazing. So yeah, just look at what kind of color you would like out of the ones I recommended, and if there's anything here that you like, I really would recommend you picking that up. And maybe I'll do another one of these next year when I have more shadows, because again, I'm going to place another order this year. When I placed this order with Sydney Grace, it was my first experience ever with Sydney Grace, and I haven't placed an order since. So I had this for not quite a year, because I got them quite a bit after, probably like a month and a half after I placed the order. So I don't know, but I've had it for like 10-11 months, and I really love these eyeshadows. They're so nice. I still need to play around more of them. I need to make an effort to reach for my singles more, but this is one of my top favorite eyeshadow brands for mattes, I would say, not for shimmers, because I do prefer my like really special shimmers, like for example from Cleona, Terra Moons, the Pastel Roses, Glam Shop, those kind of really like multi-chrome sparkly eyeshadows. I prefer those for shimmers, but when it comes to matte, these are the very best. And if you do want something more subtle for shimmers, like not subtle in like not intense, because I can see the shimmers here are still very sparkly, very intense, but like not maybe glittery, not maybe, you know, shifty, Sydney Grace is the place to go. So I do really recommend you checking out the sale, and if you have been thinking about it, just go ahead and do it, because they are amazing eyeshadows. But that is it for today. Let me know down below your top maybe recommendations. Maybe just give like, you know, 3-5 eyeshadows if you have any that you can think of that are like the best that you have, because again, I am looking to place an order, and I should be posting this on the Sunday before the sale goes live. It will be going, I forgot to mention all this in the beginning, but it will go from Monday, which should be tomorrow, until next Sunday. So for a whole week it's going to be going. And yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations. I'm looking to place an order. I think I'm going to place 3 orders all together, because I do want to take advantage of all of the deals. Go check out their Instagram if you want to know more about the details. So yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations, and otherwise I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.